Hi everyone, my name is Diego Mora. I'm consultant in Lab Platform. It is a pleasure to be able to accompany you today with this webinar on request for technical assistance for CRG. If you have questions or comments, please leave them in the chat of our transmission on YouTube, and at the end of the session, we'll be respond. The Technical Assistance Program on Community Rights and Gender is an initiative that seeks to ensure that people affected by any of the three diseases and key populations can play a significant role in the processes supported by the Global Fund. But let's let the experts tell us more about this. I want to introduce you to Marta Carrillo. Ms. Carrillo is the lead consultant and MC consultancy sexual health and development. Presently, she serves as the Caribbean liaison for the LAC regional platform. She has served in several capacities, including director of the National AIDS Commission of Belize, country representative for USAID projects in Belize, including PASMO and PASCA. As a consultant, she provides technical support to key regional entities such as PANCAP or CARICOM, the Global Fund, the Caribbean Vulnerable Communities, CARIFLAX, and many others. Most recently, they have serves as the Latin America and Caribbean delegate on the NGO delegation to the UNAIDS-PCB. And Ms. Carrillo holds a bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of Louisville and master's degree in counseling psychology from the University of West Indies. Ms. Carrillo, welcome to LAC Platform again, and it's a pleasure to introduce you today.
Thank you very much, Diego. It's indeed a pleasure for us to be able to have this webinar specifically in English to ensure that our partners in the Caribbean and in other parts of the world who are English speaking can also have the opportunity to become very familiar with the work of the LAC regional platform, especially as it relates to the component for technical assistance through the Community Rights and Strategic Initiative. I must share that as one of the 6 platforms of the CRG, the Latin American and Caribbean platform is very well focused on ensuring that maximum opportunities are made available to our partners both in Latin America and the Caribbean. The Community Rights and Gender Strategic Initiative has a specific component that focuses on the provision of technical assistance to civil society organizations through one of the, I would say, most basic and simple forms of application. We know that many times the process of developing a global fund can search us, especially for civil society organizations. But the CRG Technical Assistance Request application is basically 2 pages, and it's just a concept that is submitted. I wanted to share in terms of the success that we have had, especially as it relates to the Caribbean region. Guyana is a best practice, I can definitely say, as it was one of the first countries that submitted in the region and had its technical assistance request approved, specifically for the Guyana Trans-United. And just January, that technical assistance was implemented, and now GTU has its priority charter, a roadmap to transition and sustainability developed, and is already in the process of starting implementation. So as someone that was guiding them from the onset when we worked with the Global Action for Trans Equality to develop that TA request, I am very happy to say that we have seen how smoothly and how easily such process as the CRG technical assistance is. And so I'm very happy of you with us today. We hope that there will be an opportunity to show, because what we have is not only the technical support as the Caribbean focal point, but also an online instrument that guides the civil society organizations step by step in filling out the application requests. As I mentioned, it is something very simple, and in most, actually, there is approval of the request because there is continuous support to make any adjustments if necessary. And so where we have seen the Dominican Republic also complete their process. We are presently working with Haiti and some multi organizations as well. So I'm very happy that you all are here with us. And what I want to encourage is your questions. Any questions that you may have, we're here to help. And of course, our dear darling friend Carlos is going to take us step by step through the online instrument. Thank you very much for now.
Thank you a lot, Marta. And I want to introduce to Carlos Garcia de León. He's a dental surgeon by the National Autonomous University of Mexico in the field of HIV response, sexual health, sexual rights, and reproductive rights, as well as sexual diversity, has an experience of 29 years. He was Director of Prevention and Social Participation of Mexico's National AIDS Program, SENSIDA, from 2009 to 2013. He is currently member of the Board of Directors of ICASO, as well as the Global Forum of Men Who Have Sex with Men and HIV. He is the coordinator of Gay Latino Mexico and member of Gay Latinos Board. Since 2017, he is part of the community delegation of the governing board of the Global Fund to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria. He is founder and training commissioner of the LGBTI+ Mexican Coalition, and he works as an independent consultant with different institutions, including the LAC platform. Welcome, Carlos, to the LAC platform webinar.
Thank you very much, Diego. Thank you very much, Martha, for your introduction. I'm really happy to be here. I will echo the words of Mrs. Martha Carrillo that introduced us very well of what is the CRG and what are the needs that we have in this issue. We have been working in this tool, thinking in the needs, the specific needs of our communities in all the region, the Caribbean, of course, and the Latin American region. So we were trying to make a very simple tool, a very friendly one. So I want to go to the technical assistance tool to show you how it works. We sometimes face some fears when we are trying to think in a tool that will help us to ask for some technical assistance to the Global Fund. And when we think in the Global Fund, it sometimes sounds a huge institution that it is. It's a huge institution that is based in Geneva, and sometimes we think that they are not able to come with us and understand our specific needs. So we try just to simplify it. As Martha said, it's 2 pages of the request is only 2 pages. So let me try to show you how it works. You're looking to my screen, so I will move a little bit in each section. The tool was designed to make easier, as I was trying to explain you, the understanding and request of technical assistance to the short-term program of the Strategic Initiative on Community, Rights and Gender of the Global Fund. This strategic initiative was initiated some years ago, and they have enough funds to fund our technical assistance needs. So they really understand that sometimes the participation of civil society at the country level is complicated. Sometimes we need some experiences, skills, or knowledge. So the CRG special initiative support us to try to go in and have the best tools, the best understanding to translate this in meaningful participation of civil society in all the processes related with the Global Fund support to the country level. So this specific tool explains step by step what are the needs, which are the areas in which the CRG can support us. So let's go one by one. First of all, if you click here, you will see what is the initiative of the CRG, the Technical Assistance Program, its operation. So in a very short way, you can clearly understand what it is. What is the Technical Assistance Program? Rights and Gender. As an initiative, it says that seeks to ensure that people affected, blah, blah, blah. It's so simple. So if you just put your arrow, I don't know how to say that in English. My mother language is Spanish, so sorry, sometimes I will forget. It explains that, yes?
Are you sharing the screen?
Yes, I'm in the screen. You are not looking at it?
No, I just can see you.
Oh, so sorry. What do I have to do to change that? Let me see. Yeah. Compartir pantalla, I think. That's it.
Perfect. I can see your screen. Thank you.
Perfect. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Thank you very much, Diego, for that. So I was saying that you just go. Let me close this. Where I was showing, this is the page that comes outside when you go to the platform LAC.org page. So it's so easy to go in, and we try to do it easier. And if there are some things that we have to change, please tell us. When using it, sometimes technical issues comes here. So you press in the first issue, and it explains what is the Technical Assistance Program, how it operates, the CRG, how it operates, how many funds that they have. They have $15 million US dollars until December, for the December of this year. So they have to use them in technical assistance programs. So that probably ensures that our request for technical assistance will be probably approved. So let's try to understand very well how it works. So it explains what is the CRG, and it's so simple. In only one page, you will understand. There's an issue that is really important to understand what's sustainability. And for the Global Fund, the definition is really important to ensure that communities are part of the response against the three illnesses that they work. And they understand that is the capacity of a health program or a country to maintain and expand the coverage of services. I will stop there. But they always include civil society and that. We are part of the health system. So if we understand that we're part of that, and the sustainability of the response is when the health programs are sustainable and they're resilient and they're strong, we can understand why it is really important to receive technical assistance, and this tool will allow you to work on that. There are some documents of interest. If you need to know a little bit more about that, you just press in the section, and it will come immediately. For example, explaining which is the sustainable resilient systems. It's incredible, but it's in Spanish. So that's one point, bad point for us. We will change that to English, or let me see if the other one is in English. Yeah. Oh God, now it's not moving. Now it's coming. So you can go in each one of the sections of the tool, and after that I will go and try to, here is it. Yes, this in Spanish, and the other one is sustainable policy. If not, if something is appearing in Spanish, probably in the Spanish version, it's in English. So let me change that. They explain here also what the Global Fund defines as technical assistance. And we can go from each point to point. As you can see, the importance of meaningful engagement of community organizations and civil society in the Global Fund model. Here it describes what for the Global Fund is civil society. And so it's the best way to understand each other, the Global Fund definition, and which are the examples that they have to understand what we are doing. Yeah. This is the areas, and this is a very important part. I will stop a little bit on this, in which they can support us with technical assistance. Here are some points that is really important to read. They can support us in situation analysis, needs assessments, and planning, such as evaluation of issues related to gender norms, other social norms that influence vulnerability and risk in relations with the three diseases, analysis of the use of epidemiological information. For example, in Mexico, we're facing and confronting now with the government because they are putting out the money to support civil society organizations' work on HIV. So we should understand epidemiological information to have very good understanding of which is the impact of putting out the funds. So understanding these issues is really relevant. The Global Fund knows that all of us are not probably skilled, or sometimes we were not exposed to these areas, but it's a must to understand, for example, all the issues. I was using epidemiological information as an example, but all of them what are here. The legal framework, the local legal framework, it's a must also to understand your legal framework and the consequences. Sometimes in the legal issues, there are points that is really relevant to understand, that they sometimes stops our participation or they allows our participation and we don't know that. So these are the issues in the situation analysis. The participation of community sector in HIV, TB, and malaria programs needs to be related to strengthening our systems, the community systems, community validation of estimates on the size of key populations. Sometimes we don't know, when we speak about, for example, trans people in our country, which is the size of our population. We sometimes we do not understand how to estimate the size of our population, and it's really important in terms for a country to make a budget and their annual budget. So understanding this will help us to have a very good level of information that allow us to make better advocacy in our work. We also, the CRG also allows the possibility to have technical assistance in this second point, the participation in the country dialogue on topics such as the following. These are 6 examples of which are the topics that are really relevant for the Global Fund. To, for example, encourage collaboration and bringing together different improved knowledge about the Global Fund, technical assistance to understand aspects of programming, promotion, and education, regulatory and legal aspects, etc. I will not go one by one, but it's really important to participate in the country dialogue. In the third point, we have the design of the program or proposal. If your country is going to design a proposal to the Global Fund, it's really important to have meaningful participation. Civil society should be part of that. It's also a requisition that the Global Fund makes for the countries. So it's absolutely important to understand and to encourage you, civil society, to participate in the design of the program. In the number 4, we have the oversight and monitoring of the grant implementation, as well as the programming of the following activities. To participate in monitoring and evaluating the programs supported by the Global Fund in any of the 3 illnesses, speaking of HIV, TB, or malaria, it's also really important. So if something is going out of the path, is relevant to monitor that and try to change that. To support communities, organizations, networks, national networks of people living with HIV, for example, community of women that participates in the decision processes. If they have an oversight of the monitoring and they can evaluate, they can ask for different changes, for example, if they want to reprogram the subvention that is funded by the fund. And in the 5th point, the commitment to the development of sustainability and transition strategy. Most of the countries in a region are going in a transition situation. What in good English is this? The Global Fund is leaving our region because of many issues. One is that most of the countries of the Latin American and the Caribbean region are capable to confront by themselves, using their own funds, their responses in one or the three illnesses. It's not the reality of the three diseases for all the countries. So there's a transition process that the Global Fund allows the countries to begin to make investments in the low level and put it in a higher way during the processes. So we need to develop some strategies for the ensured community participation in this. So in this point, for example, we can receive technical assistance to develop those strategies and participate before the cessation of the Global Fund funding. And facilitate the technical assistance to our organizations for training to understand which specific actions the government will take as part of their own budget, for example, social contracting and social dialogue. The Global Fund fosters the countries to invest with their own money, contracting civil society organizations to make some prevention work or to deliver some services. And that is named social contracting. So these are the five issues in which is really important to understand that technical assistance, to understand and to be really involved and to have a meaningful participation, the Global Fund allows us. And which type of actions? They will explain here which kind of actions. For example, if we need, we think that we need a workshop to understand this or that, or we need a process of skill building about the legal issues that I was naming before. This is the things that the Global Fund technical assistance that is provided by the CRG could help us really well. A question that is really important: who provides us the technical assistance? Is directly the CRG or the Global Fund? No. There are many organizations that work in these issues. There are experts in working with communities or in the issues, in the specific issues. For example, we have the Canadian Legal Network that, of course, they are experts and they can support us to understand the legal framework at the local level of our country or the regional level. The CVC, that you obviously know, the Caribbean Vulnerable Communities Coalition, HIVOS, ICASO, PATH, etc. These are the ones that can provide training issues in English. So these are the organizations that the CRG targets and asks them to participate with this. And you will see at the column in your right of your screen, their specialty area. I was saying, explaining the Canadian Network is expert in legal aspects. The CVC in key populations, technical assistance of HIVOS, it covers a huge number of issues. ICASO and specialized technical assistance, communities, key populations, and HIV. PATH is technical assistance in matters of health, sexual health, and reproductive health. And IMPACT, that was formerly Global Forum on MSM, in issues related with MSM, gay men, and HIV. So which are the steps of technical assistance? Here, explain it. In any of that, you press, and the section will explain a little bit more. Which are the specific steps that we need to go on to really have fill the request? In these parts, you should describe the reason why you are requesting technical assistance, which is the issue of your asking, if it's in HIV and TB by itself, malaria, resilient systems of health, gender, human rights. These are the main sections that you can ask technical assistance. And they will ask you to make a specific goal, the main objective of the technical assistance. So you can, here's a guidance that will help you to have, to describe your goal in a smart way, specific, measurable, things that I'm sure you know. But this tool helps you step by step to develop in the best way the goal that you're trying to achieve with your request of technical assistance. You can describe general 2 or 3 activities that you want to have as part of your technical assistance request. And some questions about if you are in contact with your CCM, the country coordination mechanisms, about this technical assistance. And they will ask to provide all related information that you have about this. But it's not, it not depends, the technical assistance decision do not depends on the CCM of your country. They only ask if you are in contact with the CCM. Also, if you have contact to the country team of the Global Fund about this request or not. But as I'm saying, if your answers are no, we don't have we do not contact the country team of the Global Fund. It's not an issue to decide the technical assistance. They will ask if you have experiences in the past receiving technical assistance from any regional platform of the CRG and other information. And they ask if you have experience with, for example, UNAIDS technical assistance departments, WHO, etc., to understand if you have received other experiences of technical assistance. They share with us some success stories. As Marta Carrillo was explaining at the beginning, we have the Guyana experience that is really interesting to read, and you will see which you will see their specific request, so you can see how they feel it. When we have the Dominican Republic experience that is in Spanish. So that's it. It's so simple. I will put some nothing here. They will ask your organization name, which is the type of organization, and the ones that are with this red, I don't know how to name that, but you clearly will know that in English. You should answer this. You put your organization tab. If it's a network, it's a national organization, it's a local organization, you put it here. For example, it's in Belize. If you are not in Belize, you choose the country where you're living, your address. All of this should be, and you go to the next page. As you can see, this will show you in which percentage of the request that you are. Okay, the state and province, yes. That's it. For example, this is now appearing in Spanish because I'm Spanish speaking. I don't know what it is in Spanish. I tried this yesterday and it was different, but of course we will ask to change it. Which is your name? If you have a social name that is different from your legal name, you can put it here. Your address, your phone number, and they will ask which is the way that your organization is involved with the process of the Global Fund. You are the grant principal recipient, you are a grant subrecipient, you are a CCM member, or you are just an observer, you are from a member of a regional platform, or none of above. You can also put that. And you can explain something of this, something of that. And here you should describe the reason why are you. For example, I'm asking for this, I'm requesting to the CRG because we need to understand the local legal issues that are related with TB or the HIV regulations in the country level. And you put all of this here. So we were speaking on HIV and TB. You can put both of them. You just tick the most, the project that is most near for your need. And this is the technical areas that I was explaining before. For example, you want to be engaged in the country dialogue or other assistance area, you can ask for another thing. And they ask you how could the technical assistance help improve the participation of the civil society and communities, networks, and programs and interventions. Which assistance areas fits better that? And you explain a little bit of that here. You indicate, in this case, it's English, the language that you prefer. Let's go to the next one. And then I take a little bit of coffee to continue talking to you. It's slowing because I don't know why. It should be running, but as you can see, the little clock is moving here. So it's putting the information, because all the information that you use here, you will see it's achieved in the platform, in the web page. It's not running, but if any of this happened to you, you will see in the corner, in the down corner on my left side of the screen, you will see a ferry. This ferry will help you about the tool. If you have frequent answers and questions, you can ask in the forum, or you can contact directly. For example, if I do this, because they will open my mail, and they put that directly the address, and you can send the information. Let me go down with this, and I go back. As you can see, they put directly the address, you put the issue that you are asking, and you send it. But we are not using that. I'm going down. I send it because it's a stop. Let me see why they stopped. That's it. Probably my internet is blocked. But as you can see, it's so easy to work on that. After that questions, that's it. Now we're once again here. Let me put anything here. Because of this kind of information, it cannot work really well. Let me put another mail. Yeah. I'm trying to put all of this as quickly as I can. I describe here the reason for requesting CRG Technical Assistance. My reason is blah, blah, blah. I'm working in HAV. That's it. Now it's working really better. My engagement in country dialogue. I don't have any other. I explain here who would this thing, technical assistance help improve the participation of civil society community, blah, blah, blah. I put it here in English. Yeah, that's it. Here, which key or vulnerable population will benefit from this technical assistance? For example, we can say, we're a community of women with HIV. You put here, women living with HIV. That's it. And the main objectives. As I explained you, the tool has an orientation to make smart objectives. So to improve our knowledge about that and that, or this, and you put it here. The main activities, 2 or 3 activities to achieve the mentioned objectives. For example, we will have a workshop, we want a dialogue, and we will make an analysis of the legal framework. That's it. They will ask if you contacted your CCM regarding your request of technical assistance. And you put, for example, no. You can say no. And they ask if you have contacted the country team of the Global Fund. No. No, I have never received any technical assistance of anyone from a regional platform. Any additional information? That's it. The format is completed. So, and you will find here, for example, here's Marta Carrillo mail. If you want to make additional questions or you think that you need some support, you will receive information in your own mail, but you should ensure that you can send it directly to the Global Fund in these addresses. So for me is the, let me go return back here. That's it. So sorry, we have some technical issues there, as you can see. I was trying to rehearse. My rehearsal last night was in Spanish. That's incorrect because some things appears in Spanish, but we will change that. So I don't know if you have any additional comment, Marta, before going to the questions and answers of the participants. Or if Diego want to add something.
I think it's Marta connecting again.
Yeah, yes, because we lost her. Or if we have any question.
Yes, we have questions. Erika Castellanos, I can send a very book for Erika. Erika say, how can we improve the rate of approval of technical assistance requests? It seems there is the need that Secretary in Geneva that reviews them have a better understanding of community needs and work and how they relate to the implementation of global fund projects.
Okay. Let me go with the second one. Thank you very much, Erika, for your question. That will be really helpful. The technical assistance intention is to ensure and to foster full and meaningful participation of civil society in all the processes, in all the chain of processes of the cycle of financing that the Global Fund provides for the country level. So how they can improve when we receive technical assistance. I was using the example to understand the legal framework, for example, of my own country. If I do not know clearly the legal barriers, if I don't know if my country can make social contraction, for example, there's a legal barrier in that, it's so difficult to confront with that. Even we have a very good level of communication in the country level with the decision makers of policies in my country, I cannot change that. So to improve that is what technical assistance provide me with the best tools to understand it in a very friendly way, and they will fit us to our specific needs. So the technical assistance is not a machine that, like this one, that is cold and so far from us. So they will fit us in the specific needs. So it's really important if we want to improve the understanding of any of the parts. And when I say anyone, you can be as specific as you can, or sometimes you don't know exactly which is the issue that is not allowing you to have a participation in some of the processes. If you're part of the CCM, for example, and you think that your voice is not really heard, that's enough to ask for technical assistance. So I don't know if this is the questions that Erika wants me to explain, but this is the intention of the technical assistance process.
Thank you, Carlos.
And now
we have another question by Erika, but before I wanna send the word to Marta. Marta, can you tell us about the experience in Latin America for technical assistance? Marta?
You have to put it on your mic, but we are not hearing you.
No.
It's in the screen. In the upper part of your screen, there's a little box, and the mic probably is in red. You have to press it, and we will hear you. Or if not, you can go with the next question of Federica.
Yes, I want to go forward. If we use the tool of the LAT platform website to submit the technical assistance request, will the platform secretary provide feedback for improving the technical assistance request to increase the possibility of approval?
Yes, of course. You can ask, as I was showing with the ferry, for example, you can contact directly the platform LAC technical assistance to ensure that the request is well written, or if it's reflecting the needs that we want. So you can share with us, the people of the platform, your request before submitting it, and of course we can support you to improve it. We can do it by mail. We can do it having a chat like this to share experiences and to try to understand and clearly reflect your needs in the request. So of course the people that we are working with the platform can support you to make a better request.
Okay, we have another questions. Now for Kema. So when people fill in this tool online, the request will be sent automatically to the Global Fund. Will the platform be notified that the application was sent and get a copy of the request?
No. They will send it to you, so you are able to check it once again. We'll send it to your own mail, the mail that you put it. Check it, and you will receive the address that you should change. You should be sending to the CRG. But you have all the opportunities to ensure that you're checking it. You can check it with the people on the platform, people from your organization, other people that you think that they have to check it. And after that, when you decide that it's ready, you send it by your mail, by your own mail. But it's a decision that you have to take when you think that you're completely ready.
Thank you, Carlos. I will say something is, if you have questions or comments, please, you can share them throughout the chat, and we will respond the other comments or questions. I don't know if Marta is here. No.
They're trying, I think they're facing some technical issues with the mic. Yes. So I saw someone trying to fit that. I saw, let me make a last comment about the issues. I saw some, we checked it in the past in English and Spanish. The tool was completely working really well. But now I saw that many of the screens were in Spanish, and we will change that. We will go with our technical guys, and we will change that, because there are 2 or 3 things that appear in Spanish, not in English. So I don't know if Marta is ready, because someone else also.
I think
or we have more questions.
Problems with the internet.
Yeah.
Maybe Carlos, you have another comments for the people for the request or as a technical assistance, very different. Not the technical tool in the LAC platform website, but maybe what is the I don't know what is say in English, consejo, but that maybe the words for the people for take the opportunity for this assistance, technical assistance.
Yes, I think the tips. I also do not know the word for consejo.
But the tips is okay for me.
No, that's it. But the issue is, what I can suggest anyone is go to the tool, play with it, not like me, doing so quickly. Try to make a technical assistance request. First of all, for example, my first recommendation is go with your organization, your network, the group, the people you're working with, and discuss which are our weeks, which are the barriers that we are facing when we're speaking about the global fund in our country level, which are the most relevant issue that you think that it's stopping you to have a full and meaningful participation, or which things of the global fund we do not understand. And we think that if we understand it very well, we can work in a better way to our communities. After that, I suggest you try to read each of the sections. They are so short. It's so short in the tool, and it's put in a very friendly way. Read it, discuss it with you, with your community, with your organization, with your network, and then try to fill a request. Put all the information that is not really important now to stop in that, but try to understand which is our main goal. If the technical assistance we're needing. I was using the example of the legal framework, but thinking another one. We're not part of the national dialogue, and we are the national network of people living with HIV, for example. What we can do. So you have to check which is the situation in the CCM, which ones are blocking you. So sometimes we not understand clearly what's going on. So you can request to make an analysis, and you describe the situation there. You make an own goal. The goal is, what we want is the technical assistance to support us to have a better participation in the CCM, and the voice of people affected by HIV is really heard and taking in account in the decision process, for example, for the CCM. And you put it that, you just write it as in the best way that you understand. You send it, for example, by using the ferry platform, and we go back, come and go, to make it clear to the CRG people that that's a specific need that you have. As Marta says at the beginning of this, we have a lot of possibilities that the request is accepted. Because of what? CRG is made for that. CRG is making their best effort. There are people like us that understand the community needs. They are not officials in the head of a huge institution. The fund is a huge institution, but the CRG is really, really committed with communities. So they are really happy if we send in our own words which are the needs that we have. So that's a tip. Go on, fill it, and when you feel that it's completed, go send it. If the Global Fund, the CRG receive it and they have some doubts, they can go back and ask you directly, we do not understand clearly this, or why are you suggesting this if your need is in the legal area and you are requesting for another thing. So they will understand it. They will come go forward and back and that until when it's prepared, the request is sent it, and they will take a last decision. But there's huge possibilities to have it. There are funds to do it in this year, so we really encourage you to work on this.
Thank you, Carlos. I don't know if maybe someone on the chat have questions or comments for us, for Carlos specifically. We can try connect again to Marta. Comments or questions? I don't have.
No, I don't have that. There's or they do not understand anything, or I was really good and they clearly understand it. But what I want to say is that we will ensure that the sentences that were in Spanish, we will be changing that in English. I don't know what's happened. That system is crossed a little bit. So I will go back after this webinar and check that with the technical people.
Marta is sharing the information in the chat because for technicals situation is connected now, but she wants to share the experience in Guyana was a successful one because we saw the important linkage between key entities such as GATE, CRG, and GTO. The request was to develop a priority charter that would guide to GTO in their meaningful involvement in the global fund processes, especially as it relates to transition and sustainability. The process of application was easy as we took advantage of a session that brought together a large number of the community members to assess the situation, identify needs, and prioritize the specific area that the world want the support. Say Marta in the chat.
I don't know if you're looking my screen.
No, I can't.
Let me try it once again. That's it?
Yes.
Okay, because this is the request of Guyana. So it's really so helpful. I was sure that Martha will do this, but I will show it to you. This is the applicant details that, as you can see, is so simple to do it. The things that you tick during using the tool. Here's the description of the reason of requesting the CRG technical assistance. For example, is we want to learn all about the global fund from beginning to end, analysis of the situation of trans and global fund processes, develop a plan, and implement. The overall objective is for the transgender community in Guyana to have the capacity to play a more meaningful role in the global fund processes, especially those areas specifically affecting the trans community. So you can read it. It's in the tool. They tick HIV, TB, malaria, gender, and human rights. That's correct. You can tick all what you think. They in this question, which is the following one areas of technical assistance would better meet your needs. They think it was civil society engagement in oversight and monitoring of grant implementation and reprogramming. The technical assistance relevant to increase the participation of civil society and community networks in the context of programs and interventions funded by the Global Fund. And this is their answer. Civil society organizations play a pivotal role in HIV, TB, and malaria response in Guyana, particularly as it relates to key populations. As you can see, that they explain clearly their feelings about that. They think they work in English. The key and vulnerable population would be impacted is transgender people, and these are the main objectives. They develop three. Strengthening the capacity of trans persons in Guyana to serve as watchdogs in global fund processes, to increase knowledge of all global fund processes from beginning to end, conduct an analysis of the participation of trans in global fund process, development of an M&E, monitoring and evaluation plan, to carry out our role as watchdogs, and the implementation of these issues that they say. The expected activities that they were thinking that they need is training sessions to conduct an analysis, to develop the M&E plan, and the implementation of the monitoring and evaluation plan. All the other information that they ask is that the chair of the CCM is informed that and has been provided a copy of this technical assistance request. They ask if they contact the country team of the Global Fund. They say that they are sending to Lilian Pedrosa, and they put their mail address here. And they ask if someone is supporting them, and they speak very well about our beloved focal point Marta Carrillo, that is from the regional LAC platform. They ask if you have asked for another assistance provider your technical request, and they say no, and state other information. And they think that for the Global Fund, it's important to understand to the CRG, sorry, how many people with HIV is living in Guyana, the adult prevalence, the prevalence in transgender people in 2016, because the viable data they have is that ones, and that the organization serves as vice chair of the CCM of Guyana. And that's it. They send it, as you can see, it's 2 pages and a little piece of more. That this is a technical assistance request form, and so it's so easy to put it there, and they were really successful. So,
thank you, Carlos. I will try again, maybe for connect with Marta. Marta, can you hear me? Marta?
They say she put it in the chat. If you can chat but you cannot speak. Yes, your mic is outside of work. That's it. Try to speak. No?
No.
Yes, there's a technical issue that
Yes.
because the mic is not coming on. That's it. So as you can see, Marta, I showed them the Guyana technical request, and you cannot hear, you cannot speak. So lovely. But the important thing of what Marta Carrillo do with this organization is support them to develop the request form. And as you can see, it's so simple. It's using their own words, using the needs, the specific needs that they understand that this organization think that they have. And that was successful. The CRG accept, and they developed the analysis, and they developed the monitoring and evaluation plan. And but I don't know if they are implementing. I suppose that they are implementing now the monitoring and evaluation plan. So it's a successful story.
Thank you, Carlos. We have maybe the last questions for you.
Yes.
What would you share to us specific information regarding the assistance you?
Can you repeat? I lost you. Once again.
Okay. Would you please share to us the specific information regarding the assistance you already provide the organizations after the quiz has been accepted?
Yes, it was accepted. It was accepted. As my best understanding, it was a successful story. I don't know in which step they are now. I don't know if they are implementing the monitoring and evaluation plan or not, but what my best understanding is that it was accepted by the CRG, so it was a successful story.
And based on your experience, what is the big challenge you meet in that process?
In my experience, I was not related with the Guyana process. So it was Marta Carrillo that is related with that. But I think for me, the issue is to translate the needs in a technical assistance request. For me, that's the issue. Which are the specific needs that we have in the country level, what we are facing, to translate that in a technical assistance request. Sometimes we have some problems to describe it, but use your own words. Don't be afraid. Use your own words, and if you need some help, we can support you to make that translation. Sometimes we do not clearly know which is the specific reason. And let me put another example. As I was saying, I'm insisting a lot in legal framework because it's not my area. We sometimes do not understand the barriers for social contracting in a country. When we understand the legal framework, that's it. We can go and we can find different paths, or decide to make an advocacy to change the law, for example, the rules or the norms or whatever is the barrier. But you have to understand where is the problem. That's the intention of the CRG, to support you to find which is the barriers and how to solve them and jump them to find a better solution, and to ensure participation, the best and meaningful participation of civil society in all the processes related with the Global Fund.
Thank you so much, Carlos. I think this is the final of the decision now. Thank you too for Marta. I understand the technical problems and the circumstances is bad in the moment, but it's okay. Thank you for joining us today, Marta. And Carlos, I will see you soon in another webinar for the people.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Marta. Thank you very much to the people who was participating in the webinar. Thank you very much, Erika Castellanos. She's now in Amsterdam. So I'll see you on Sunday. So thank you very much. And thank you, Diego, for your support. I'm so sorry not to hear your beautiful voice, Martha, but I'm sure that we will hear each other so soon. Besos. Gracias.
Thank you so much, Carlos. And the last, remember, for the participants in the webinar today, we invite you to follow us on our social networks, in Facebook, on Twitter, Plataforma LAC in Spanish. We also invite you to visit our website, plataformalac.org, and join a community, comunidad.plataformalac.org. We hope to see you at the next opportunity, and don't miss all our news. Thank you so much for the participation.
Thank you very much. Bye, and don't worry,
Bye.
Martha, she says, apologize about the technical problems, that's not an issue. We did very well. Thank you very much. See you.
Thank you, Carlos. Bye.